What's up, guys? Golf Enigma, the MPA Season 2 coach of the Hampshire Haunters. Right now, what I'm about to do with you guys is walk you through an analysis with my two ACs and my coaching staff, Natty Chan and Child of Disorder. Say hi, guys.
Hello.
Hi.
And basically, what these two people will do with me today will be walking through my draft picks for MPA Season 2. So let's get started. First up, we have Heatran. So guys, let's get rolling into this. What can you tell me about Heatran and what we're going to be able to do with it?
I think I'll let Natty.
The Lava Dome Pokemon. No.
Oh my god.
Heatran is, first of all, just an amazing counter to the new meta, which is Fairy types. It is the best possible switch-in for Fairy types. It's 4 times resistant.
It also has a huge amount of resistances, with only really one big weakness in the ground, which it also usually carries an air balloon, so it negates that weakness.
And let's just be honest, if you had to get into a fist fight, I'd want Heatran.
Hey, I'm looking at it from a stats view right here, because I've also chucked out the video for you guys, which you're not going to see until after it goes up anyway. But looking at it, it's got some great special attack power, as well as really good defensive and special defensive stats across the board.
Yeah, it's got huge defenses and a very decent HP stat with 91 HP, 106 in both defenses. And it really makes this thing a very, very scary wall for either special or physical. And it's also have some pretty good pivoting potential if you want to run it as more offensive. Also, it has access to Stealth Rocks, so it could set those if it really wanted to.
My favorite thing about Heatran is that it is the best possible switch-in for any Fire-type move because it gets that ability Flash Fire.
That's going to be even handier. And we can get very cheeky with it. We can try and get a cheeky burn with that Lava Plume. Anyway, let's move on to draft pick number 2, which is the Vulture That Can, Mandibuzz. What we got for Mandibuzz, guys?
Well, first of all, it's got the highest HP of any non-legendary Dark type, so it is bulky as all hell.
Which you can
Not
see
to
from its
mention-
high HP base stat of 110.
Not to mention, it also has a very respectable special defense stat, with not too short of its physical defense at 95. This again means it could run either physical or special as a Heatran could. It
And
also has access to Overcoat, which makes it immune to any spore moves such as, well, Spore or Sunspore.
not to mention the fact, it's relatively fast from what I see. Not the fastest of the birds, but it's definitely the bulkiest.
I love that it gets, like, if you look at our first draft, which was Heatran, who has that major ground weakness, well, high ground immunity, high psychic immunity.
Like, it's covering the
mention-
basis that our first pick had all along.
Not to mention that Heatran and Mandibuzz make a very, very strong wall core. You could run one as physical, the other as special, and really, you're not going to be able to do much either of them in the long run.
We're ready to go to number 3, which is going to be the everlasting scary-faced Chestnut with its spiky dome shield. And its hidden ability, which is bulletproof.
Well, let's talk about Bulletproof for a second and the fact that it gives it immunity to so many of the moves that could absolutely just cripple it, like Sludge Bomb. Nothing.
Oh yeah, Sludge Bomb doesn't touch this thing.
Sludge Bomb, Gyro Ball, Focus Blast, any of the Aura Sphere, like, it just... it laughs at them.
It does take a lot of things that, say, Mandibuzz or Heatran would be afraid of, and it does help tie up that wall core even more. Not to mention that Chestnut can deal with bulky water.
That is true. I
And
also love that you can run it as a really good support Pokemon and just bulk it right out, or you can even run it as a sweeping set, and it has some potential there too.
This is true.
especially with things in its move pool, which gives it access to Flying type, including Drain Punch, which can be very handy to restore some HP we could lose early on.
Drain Punch is a really nice tab for it because fighting does hit a lot of things already, and not to mention it does get stabbed and does restore HP, so it's kind of basically Chestnut's physical Giga Drain that it always
It
wanted.
is. It always wanted, and it's gonna take full advantage of that 107 base. Next up for pick number 4, we have our Mega, which we finally drafted out. We had to get a Mega quick, so we went and tried to get our hands on something that was going to do what we need to do, knock down some walls, and still not get its Dragon type, but we went for Charizard. Charizard Y.
Oh,
Okay, well-
a thing I like about Mega Charizard Y is that it has a monstrous special attack stat, decent special defense, and it's really, really actually kind of average speed, honestly.
Average
Oh,
speed,
child.
strong special attack, strong special defense.
Not
But
to mention it has the
Charizard has the fact that it is one of the few fire types that can actually pretty safely switch into a Scald with Drought.
Oh yeah. Let's not
You can't
let's not
burn
forget
it,
that
the-
ability. That drought ability is gonna be so handy for us.
Not to mention it has the move pool to abuse under the sun with Solar Beam and Fire Blast.
Oh yeah.
And also, if you really wanted to, not that I suggest it, but it does get Defog.
This is
Yeah. Another thing that Mandibuzz gets as well, which tied in together, we could get lucky with this thing, and someone might not see the default coming from the Charizard, and we get Mandibuzz do something completely different.
This is true.
Anything else you want to add about Mega Charizard? Well, Mega Char Y.
It's not a dragon type.
It's still not got its Dragon type. Yeah, that's the worst thing about it. It still doesn't get its Dragon typage, but it still is one of the most powerful wall breakers in OU.
I mean, even Mega Slowbro doesn't want to really take a Solar Beam from this thing, so...
Oh god, though. Especially with Scald already weakened by Drought. Next up for pick number 5, we've got the almighty Mama of the Bugs. I'm going to say Heracross, and for that, I'm taking us to the resident bug expert, which I'm saying is Natty. Sorry, Shell, but she is.
I'm sorry, that is true. I am the resident bug expert, and what can you say about Heracross? It is probably the most amazing fighting type I could ever possibly want for our team. I mean, first of all, it is the only bug fighting type Pokemon there is, but it gets Guts, it gets Moxie, you can run it so many different ways. You can do a surprise Guts set, switch it into a Will-O-Wisp, or you can run Moxie and just destroy the field, while boosting your attack every time you make one of your enemies cry at your feet.
Another thing to keep in mind is that Heracross has a really, really huge physical move pool to abuse with its high 120 base attack.
125.
125, excuse me.
Yeah.
And can I just take a moment to say that if my car ever broke down somewhere and I did not have a jack, Heracross would be your bro.
It
Like,
would
I
be.
got this for you.
Like, we can use it early, we can use it late game. What can we not do with Heracross? Now, for those who don't know,
You can't
Child.
run a spec set.
Before we don't know, clear people up on what Guts actually does, because I tend to get confused using Guts.
Okay, for those who don't understand what Guts does, Guts is an ability that raises your attack by 1.5 or +1 when you have a status effect. If you have the burn status, which usually halves your attack, the halving effect is ignored. Of course, though, you can still get fully paralyzed, you still take badly poisoning damage, which racks up over time, but for burns, the effect is negated.
Which means, if you're gonna burn Heracross, just don't, because you're about to get hit hard.
Yeah, burning it... I like to think of Heracross almost how I like to think it's Conkeldurr. You really don't know which ability it's running until you see the Moxie boost, so you really don't want to try to status it until you're absolutely certain it's not running Guts. Which also offers that element of surprise.
Next up, we've also got another bug type in the form of Duran. Natty, go for it. This is your territory here.
Oh, Durant is just beautiful. First of all, it is a speedy little metal ant Pokemon. It's fast, it's hard hitting, it can stab Iron Head, so if you're thinking of sending in a fairy against this thing, even with its dismal special defense, it's still gonna hurt you. It's still gonna make you cry. It is just everything. It is beautiful. It resists so much. It gets Truant as a hidden ability, which honestly I would never run in my life. But Hustle, giving it that physical attacking moves do an extra 50% damage. Get a Hone Claws up, it's gonna hit hard, it's gonna hit every time, it's gonna be unstoppable.
Let's not forget to mention that Durant is a baller.
It is a direct baller. And the nickname potential of this thing. I could come up with half a dozen nicknames I could want to run on Duran.
Yeah, you could name it Kevin.
Duran
or
Duran?
Kevin. Or that.
That's just two I can think off the top of my head. Anyway, we're going to swiftly move on to pick number 7. Before I do that, though, I'm going to give a note that Heracross we had to snag quick because it was the first free pick there. The first of our free picks, which means we had to hurry and snag it before someone sniped it. Anyway, moving on. Next, we got Uxie, the little legend that is blind as Brock but can still see what it's doing. What we got about Uxie, guys?
I'd like to take this moment to mention that was a terrible pun. Uxie is a really, really good stealth rocker. It also has monstrous defense and special defense, and it's actually pretty decently speedy with base 95. For those of you who don't know, base 95 is the same speed of speed demons like Electivire and Yanmega, just to name a few. So it's up there in the speed. Its attack and special attack leave a bit to be desired, but again, it's an amazing wall.
And I can think of so many different sets we can run with Uxie. It's a
Well, yeah,
really great
it gets
pick.
access to things like Stealth Rock, Thunderwave, dual screens, U-turn. I mean, it could either be the most annoying wall you're gonna have to take out the entire game, or just the most annoying setup you've ever seen.
Oh, hell yeah, that's why I'm looking forward to using this thing. I want to see if I can mess some teams up with this. You know, I want to take us number 1. We gotta get the best. And Uxie just seemed like one of the best choices in Tier 4 for us to grab.
Plus,
surprised
who would honestly feel good about them picking up a poor little defenseless blind Pokemon?
That's
I would
pretty
say
much what it is, but it's not that defenseless. Come on, that defense is kicking it right there. Anyway, let's kick out to the next one. I'm gonna say our Tier 5 pick, Caracosta. Which
Speaking of defense,
Speaking of it, child, what do we name this thing?
SWAT Turtle! Get down on the ground! Don't you dare move!
AKA, it is the bane of streamers. This thing can take out things that are an OU and people do not expect it. It's just literally, Talonflame, don't even bother turning up because Caracosta is going to hit you first. Gale Wings or not. Anything else we want to add about this thing?
Well, let's talk about the fact that it gets access to one of the best setup moves in the entire game, which is
Shell Smash,
Shell
guys.
She shells by the seashore.
Seashells by the seashore. Caracosta sells seashells by the seashore. But it gets access to Shell Smash. It can have the ability Solid Rock, which means it's going to have a good chance of being able to get a Shell Smash off and still be able to hit you. Or, even better, you could run it with Sturdy, which means it is going to be able to get that Shell
No
Smash off and
matter
then
what.
at your face to death.
Not to mention that even if you didn't want to run as a sweeper, it does get access to Stealth Rocks again, and it also is a really, really strong defensive wall. Actually rivaling that, the HP and defense stat of Uxie.
Which I feel we can play these two off together really well. We could really mess with stuff. And with it being so slow, we can use it for other stuff, even if we don't get that Shell Smash off. Especially with Uxie in like a tandem with it. Let's go for our next pick, which is now we're just dipping into our free picks. We got our tier 1, 2, 3, 4, 5s, and our megas. We got our first free tier pick. Let's go into the next one, which is Tyrantrum Grimlock,
Ugh,
the king of the dinosaurs.
my baby. Tyrantrum.
This thing's
can I
beautiful.
talk about Tyrantrum for a second?
Let's go for it.
I mean, let's just take the fact that it is heavy, it's hard-hitting, and it takes no prisoners. It's got an amazingly wide physical move pool and 2 abilities that take absolute advantage of that move pool. It's got Strong Jaw, which is going to power up any sort of fight moves like Crunch, Fire Fang, Thunder Fang. You don't want to get bitten by this thing, and it gets access to Rock Head, which means moves that normally take recoil don't.
Like,
So
you ain't getting that off.
Let's
Head
just
smash,
be
T-Trunk coming
absolutely
through.
terrified. I mean, yeah, so like I said, head smash. I mean, come on, Band-Aids do not fix crushed skulls, so you do not want Tyrantrum to be able to get a move off. He is going to be the fear the second he comes out onto the playing field.
Literally, if I hit a head smash the thing, I might as well just be charging a Rhino through the entire field, because that's what's going to happen.
Another thing to take note of is it actually has really decent defensive bulk. While special defense is kind of bad, it does have a decent defense stat, so it can switch into some physical hits and still deal some damage back before it goes down.
Yeah, that's a plus to it, because it's got a really... Physical-wise, it's got stats that are way past the hundreds, and it's one of the very rare picks that I just saw snagged there, so I had to grab it. Number 10, pick number 10, the Sonic Burb, the Night Scream Terror of the day and night, which kind of messed that up, is Noivern. What have we got about Noivern apart from the fact that it's got Infiltrated that can get past things like Protect?
Well, I'm going to let Child say what I know he's dying to say about Noivern. Go for it.
Wyverns are not dragons!
No, they're not. I consider this thing like the special attacking Crobat.
Well, it really is the special attacking Crobat, and it has the speed and the special attack to back that statement up. It is fast, it's hard hitting, and it's got an amazing supportive move pool.
Not to mention, if you slap a Specs on this thing, even though it has only base 97 special attack, not a lot of things really want to take an Infiltrator Boom Burst, or, well, that's kind of redundant, or an Infiltrator Draco Meteor. And it also does get U-turn for pivoting, so it can do that rather than just hard switching.
And I'm just gonna chance. It's not often you'll see me talk about a shiny sprite, but damn, this thing looks awesome when it's shiny.
That it does.
That is coming from a shiny hunter's perspective, and that's normally what I do. But at the same time, I know I can also battle aggressively well when I'm forced to, which is pretty much what's gonna happen. Like, I'm going into a hard, I'm gonna win. I'm gonna want Noivern with me that can do what I needed to do. Pick on our last and final pick, our final free pick. Now, what we would sort of take our entire team and try and find what do we have that needs covering. And we found it in this guy. We found it in Samurott, of all freaking things. What can we say about Samurott, apart from it's the formidable Pokemon that we needed?
Well, the fact that its Pokedex entry actually does call it the formidable Pokemon. But it has amazing attack and special attack. It is a great mixed attacker with the move pool to support it.
However, one small downside is that it's slightly slow, but it still has the kicking power to stay out on the field.
It does, and it looks like a freaking monster out there. I mean, come on. It's called Samurai. It's the formidable Pokemon. It looks like a freaking samurai when it starts attacking.
And let's not forget that it does get access to Grass Knot, so...
Yeah, that's gonna be handy if we come across any spoiled water types, and if we want to take advantage with Mega Charizard's drought ability as well.
Exactly.
Samurott uses Hanjo Slash, it's super effective.
Also, don't forget, hidden ability, Shell Armor.
This means it can't be crit for those of you who don't know.
And that's pretty much it. That was our entire MPA draft, so I want to thank Natty and Chard for joining me for this. Beyond that, I hope you check out the MPA's actual channel itself, where you can see every coach that's in Season 2. Even check back on some of the Season 1 stuff that went on. Bit of shits and gigs going on there. Well, they ain't seen nothing yet with Season 2, because I'm coming for the crown. Anyway guys, thanks for joining me. I'll catch you all later.